I want to call this meeting of the Simpson County Fiscal Court to order. I'm going to ask our counselor, Sam Phillips, if he would lead us in prayer, and after that, we'll have the pledge to the flag.
Let us pray. Gracious and loving Heavenly Father, we thank you for all our many blessings. We especially thank you for this time of year as we celebrate the birth of your Son, Jesus, who fulfilled your divine plan for salvation for all. I also ask that you look after the folks who are sick and in need of help and healing. I ask that you bless this body, these men up here, give them wisdom and discernment, do what is right in your sight. Also, we pray for those elected officials at the state and federal level. I ask that you bless and keep with first responders, keep them safe, and keep so they can go home to their families. Also, ask you to bless and look after those who wear the uniform, both now and in the past. I ask that you forgive us of our sins. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, gentlemen, the first couple of items are minutes of some meetings. First would be, I need a motion and a second to approve the minutes of our December 3rd regular fiscal court meeting. I need a motion and a second if there are no corrections. I had a motion, was it Marty?
Yes, sir.
I heard Marty and then Scott. So a motion by Marty, second by Scott. Any other question or discussion? All in favor, aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. And then we had a special called meeting on December 11th, and I need a motion and a second to approve the minutes from that special called meeting. So moved. Got a motion by Jeffrey.
Second.
Second by Myron. Any question or discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Abstain.
We have one abstention, Sydney. Next would be an appointment to the Franklin Simpson Parks Board.
We're not doing the budgets.
Huh?
We're not doing the budgets.
The budgets? No, I'll get to them in my report.
Okay.
Yeah. The Franklin Simpson Parks Board appointment, the recommendation from the Parks Director and Board Chair was to appoint Eric Perkins to a 3-year term that would run through December 31st of 27. Got a motion by Scott.
Second.
Second by Myron. Any question or discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. And next, if you recall, gentlemen, we had some conversation in our last meeting about some text amendment changes to the planning and zoning regulations. This would be a first reading of planning and zoning ordinance number 920.126, and this is simply inserting the words daycare and nurseries into conditional use in an ag zone. And so the counselor's got that ordinance prepared, and we would make that change by ordinance. I need a motion and a second to approve that.
So moved.
Got a motion by Jeffrey.
Second.
Second by Myron. Sydney, on the ordinance, we'll do a roll call.
Burr,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Chandler,
Yes.
Poston,
Yes.
Barnes.
Yes. And then, gentlemen, if y'all all recall, every tax season we increase the sheriff's revenue bond, and so now we're just need a motion and a second to revert his revenue bond back to its normal status. And is there anything that has to be signed with that, Nicole?
Jerry D signed it, but it's not, doesn't have to be, I
Okay.
mean, you all or anybody, so.
All right. So we just need a motion and a second to reestablish the sheriff's revenue bond at its normal value. Got a motion by Marty? Second by Scott. Any question or discussion? All in favor, aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Into financial business, we have the recommendation of a cash transfer from the general fund to the jail fund in the amount of $100,066. I need a motion and a second to approve that transfer, and I think we're still inside of the budgeted amount, well inside of that. And obviously, it's like nearly every
And we
other.
should get a Class D check.
Yeah, it's just the request is there in case the Class D check doesn't hit in time to cover the next payroll.
So moved.
Got a motion by Marty, a second by Jeffrey. Any question or discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Next is the budget transfers. You've had an opportunity to look at those. We just need a motion and a second to approve those budget transfers.
So moved.
Got a motion by Myron, second by Scott. Any question or discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Next is the bills and claims. If you've had an opportunity to review those, we need a motion and a second to approve the bills and claims as presented.
So moved.
Got a motion by Scott,
Second.
second by Myron. Any question, discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. And then finally, our November financial statement. I'd need a motion and a second to approve the financial statement subject to audit and authorize the county treasurer and the county judge to sign it.
So moved.
Got a motion by Scott, a second by Myron. Any other question or discussion on that? The only comment I will make on that is that Nicole and Michelle, really everyone in the office that has anything to do with collections and billing and all of that do a great job managing all that. But we've been really fortunate that the financial condition of the county has remained really strong. So that's a testament to all of the county employees that are keeping an eye on what they do, and especially to the county treasurer and all the finance people involved on the finance side to keep a check on all that. So thank all of you for what you do and for being attentive to how we're handling the public funds. But I don't think we voted yet, did we? I'm just making comments. Any other question or discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. All right. In my report, Marty was asking about the budgets. What you have on your portal, you do have a copy of the proposed county clerk and sheriff's budget. They're just there for your review purposes. You'll have a little time between now and our first meeting in January. If you have questions about either budget, I would suggest maybe if you've got a question about the sheriff's budget, talk to the sheriff and or the county treasurer. If you have a question about the clerk's budget, talk to the clerk and or the county treasurer.
And all the additional financial comparisons from year to year will be loaded by the end of the week, so you'll have those to look at.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you just didn't have time to get all that together, but all of that'll be on. Are you going to just put it on the portal
Yep.
where this is?
Yeah.
So it'll go
So they
right
can
into
go.
this section.
By the end of this week? Okay, good.
So y'all have that to review so you can look over it. And I think, and gentlemen, you two correct me if I'm wrong, obviously we don't know yet what the state's going to set the CPI at, but I think that they plug their budget in reflecting a 3% increase. Is that?
I did
3.5, and I think you done 3.
I did 3, and there's a whole lot of rates that don't come out till later in the year.
Yeah.
I use present rates. I'm asking for mine to be passed, knowing it's going to have to be amended to the correct rates. The rates could be lower than what they are, could be a little bit higher. Doesn't have anything to do with the spending part. It's all.
And what he's referring to there is insurance rates, retirement rates, workers' comp rates, whatever they, I mean, there's no way to have a crystal ball to project where that's going to be.
We'll have to approve these on the 7th.
We will have to approve this on the
Okay.
7th. Yeah.
Thank y'all for getting them to us early, because
It's happened the last couple of years, but in the past, we have only got to see them that day.
Yeah.
And not had a chance to look at anything, so thank you for getting them to us early.
Yeah.
Our doors are open. If you have, whatever questions you have, discussions, feel free to talk to us.
And back to employee raises, obviously, we won't know, I mean, typically it's what, sometime maybe late
Late
January,
February.
early February before we know what the state has
Yeah.
said. And so, we make a determination on that, and then we may have to make some adjustments in these budgets if, whatever. But just review, they're there for review. As you heard Nicole say, she'll have the year-over-year comparison loaded onto the portal, and you got it to look at. So during Christmas and New Year's, you got stuff, you got homework assignments.
I'm really glad I wanted something to do.
There you go, you got it. All right, the next thing, and this just was added to the portal, I think yesterday, but it's no business item or anything, and actually Paul's not in here because we had an ordeal, I guess, with the elevator, and he's down with the elevator guy checking all that out. But you've got pictures we loaded to the portal yesterday of the weather vane. If y'all recall, the wood structure was collapsing, and so we had Yoakley's come in and look at doing some kind of steel structure to support it. And so Paul just loaded the before and after pictures on, because it's a lot easier while he's up there to take pictures than it is for all of us to try to climb up there and look at it. But it looks like they've done a great job, and I think we've got a structure now that we don't have to worry about the weather vane falling through to the basement and spearing someone on the way down. So just that's there for your review. We did get a call yesterday, and I'm not asking for a decision today, but I am asking that you either email, call, or text and let me know where you stand on this. If y'all recall, the folks with the Kids on the Block came and done a presentation, and they requested some funding, and they reached out yesterday to want to know what we had decided or what we had determined, and I said the court had really made no decision on that funding. And I think, if I'm remembering right, they were requesting like $1,500.
I don't remember.
Does that sound remotely close to right?
I think that's right.
Yeah. So if y'all would, just give that some thought, and maybe give me a call, an email, a text, and let me know prior to our meeting in January where your thoughts are on that. The other thing is, we done the text amendment on this daycare and nurseries into conditional uses on an ag zone. We still need to determine if we want to do an ordinance that would regulate certain zone restrictions for the medical cannabis. So y'all got a copy of what was proposed. I'll be sending out an email with some thoughts on that. So if y'all could give me your feedback on it, and we need to keep the county attorney in the loop on our discussion with all that.
While we're looking over the clerk and sheriff's budget, we can
Yeah,
do this over the
yeah,
holidays.
yeah. So it's more homework assignments for the holidays. Yeah. Let's see. Couple other things. Oh yeah, today, I guess it's going on at the moment, and we'll go to 1 o'clock today. The Chamber of Commerce Christmas open house is today, if you get a chance to swing by there. And then one other thing, if y'all remember, we just had the surplus auction ended last Thursday. The total results for everything in the auction was $111,156.54. Now, here's a breakdown to that, and I mean, I don't mind to scan this and email it, but if y'all want to jot it down as we go, you can. What the Public Works had put in there, the total of the items sold that were Public Works items was $22,150. Planning and Zoning had the one vehicle in there, and it sold at $4,526. Franklin Simpson Fire and Rescue had some items in there, and the total on those was $12,075.02. 2 cents is an odd bid, but that's what it was. Then the items that the jail had placed in there, the bid totals on those were $18,575. And remember too, we've got to look at the one fire and rescue sale compared to the one Kubota sale and equalize that out with the jail. So the jail's part will actually be more than the 18,575, and the fire and rescue's part will be a little less than that 12,075 once we make those equalizations. 9 of these vehicles were drug task force vehicles, and the amount on the drug task force vehicles was $27,530.52, and then the amount of the vehicles on the sheriff's side was $26,300.
What was the total again?
The grand total of all items in the auction was $11,156.54.
It looked like everything brought pretty, more than expected, probably.
You know, I talked to Bobby, I think I talked to the sheriff a bit. Did we talk to the sheriff about what the stuff was bringing one day?
Yeah, it didn't do bad.
I mean, I think everybody felt like it brought either at value or close enough to value that you felt pretty good about it. I mean, the good thing about it is it didn't cost the county a nickel to have the auction. The auction company handled the whole thing, took all the pictures, done all the advertising, collected a buyer's premium to cover their part. And I assume, Austin, they were pretty good to work with at the clerk's office on transferring everything, that process.
We got everything transferred, maybe 1 or 2, yeah.
But that process went pretty smooth. So I guess you can't ask for much better. I mean, we got rid of stuff we're not using and turned it into money we can put back into some budgets. So there we go. And then obviously the only other thing that I'm going to share is probably something that everybody sitting behind this table will echo as they talk. A week from today is Christmas Eve. I can't believe that 2024 is right here, 2 weeks away from being over and just kicking into a new year. But I just want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas as we're a week away from Christmas Eve. Hope you have a very Merry Christmas, get to spend some time with your family and friends, and have a safe and happy New Year, because the law enforcement folks will be glad to take you to a hotel, not of your choosing if you're celebrating too much.
At the county's expense.
And the hotel will be glad to put you up for a night or two.
And I will say, there's a local company here in town I've seen advertise that if you are participating in adult beverages, that you can call Stoney's Towing and they will take you home for like $75 or $80. You don't have to worry about anything.
Please be responsible. If you're going to party and ring in the New Year celebration, just please do so responsibly. But I do want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Marty?
Yeah, I've got a couple things. Looks like the clerk's building's coming along very well.
Yep.
I seen, is that the elevator
Yep.
shaft that they're putting up? That's what
Yes.
it looked like. But it looks like that's coming along pretty well. We had the equipment committee meeting this morning, and one thing we talked about in there, the fire chief is gonna need new air packs. It's gonna be pretty high. They're trying to get a grant. But if we have that joint city-county meeting if we can have it on the 13th, that gives him more time to come to that with some firm numbers. But I think that's something that needs to be on the agenda when we're talking about, he's talking like $450,000, $500,000 for air packs. So that's probably something we need to discuss with the city at that time.
And I did send an email request stating that we needed to have a conversation about some issues with the fire department, but I haven't received a response as to.
So that would be another issue with the fire department that I think we need to talk about. And another thing we talked about in there, and I know we've brought this up a time or two in the past, but I think if the court is willing, I think we should explore the avenue of talking to someone about being a grant writer for the county. And whether I would like to find somebody that's already doing grant writing and would do it for a percentage of the grants. That way you don't have to worry about payroll or reinsurance or any of that. I don't know how the rest of the court feels about that, but there are lots of grants out there. If you have somebody looking for those grants, I think they could really benefit the county.
Did I share all the information that I got when we posed that question to the Judges Association, and they
But when he was talking about trying to get a grant for the air packs, that made me think about that. So I think that's something I believe the court needs to pursue to try to find somebody that will do the grants. And I don't know if anybody wants to discuss it today, if we need a motion or anything, but I think we would need to do it.
Yeah, as you remember, we discussed it. I reached out to the Judge Executive Association to see what other counties are doing, and I thought I had given y'all a copy of all of the responses that they sent.
But it really never went anywhere from there.
We didn't
so.
go anywhere from there, but the ones who are doing it, who have specific grant writers in their staff, they're all saying that what they're doing is more than paying for their salary by, the money that they're getting. So I'm definitely open to it, but I guess before we make a real decision, we would need to determine, like, can we, because if you hire someone, you put them on payroll, obviously it's going to be some time before we start seeing the results of grants coming in, so you are going to have that cost up front. Or like you said, do we want to explore the possibility of we hire someone just as an independent contractor on a percentage basis?
All right, who does the grant writing for the city? Does Tammy do that?
As far as I know, but now.
She used to, I don't know now.
I'm 6 years removed, so I don't
Right,
know.
I was just wondering, I mean, if they've got somebody at City Hall's doing grant school, you just, talk to them and see if they would be interested. I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, I know the brand helps us with grants, but we still miss a lot because they're not seeking grants, they're just helping if we,
Yeah.
if you had a real grant writer, it's someone that's seeking grants, which is a completely different, work. That's a completely different skill set than what
Right.
everyone else is doing.
And that's why I think if you get somebody to do it, that you're getting a percentage of the grant, whatever it is, whatever the normal going rate for that is, they would look for even more grants if they were doing it that way. So I don't know, what's the opinion, what do y'all think?
I'm good to pursue it and see what we can come up with.
Well, I know that what you sent us from other judges, and I've talked to Dennis Harper, and now they have one.
Oh, yeah?
There that, I think I'm right on that they also have one, but
Yeah, but that person is shared by other counties.
yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
he writes for other counties
but
as
I do
well.
like, as far as being not actually an employee of the county, just working off a percentage, I think it might be something to look at.
Yeah, I have no issue with that whatsoever. And because like I said, the brand's very helpful. If we can find a grant, they're helpful, they're good about helping us process it. But on most of those grants, and Nicole, I think I'm right here, they actually charge a fee too. I mean, they get a portion or a percentage if they actually.
Are you talking about the Brad?
Yes.
Yeah, there's an admin fee.
Yeah, so I mean.
Chief, you have wrote a grant for those air packs, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so, can you share with us the outcome of that grant?
Well, I don't think he knows yet, but.
We just closed a grant process. So when I came a few months ago and told you guys about the air packs, that was the FEMA AFG grant. They started that later than usual, so we went through that process. We found out in October that we were denied. The new process opened up right at the end of November. It closes this Friday. So I've been working with Brad to reapply again for those same air packs. I have been working diligently since then to try to figure out, why we didn't get the grant. Because of the Honeywell brand, if you guys, just a refresher, they pulled their NOSH certification, or they're attempting to. Actually, the date was yesterday, but we've heard nothing from them. Our service provider has heard nothing from them. So we're plugging along as if they are still good because we've not been told otherwise. The problem with that is the company themselves, they have laid off all their employees. They are done. There's one person in the office for the entire company that's answering the phone, and that's it. So we're not able to get service, not able to get supplies. We're able to use these because we do annual testing on them where they come in, they flow test them. They're no longer providing the services. They're not training those people to go out and do that. And I talked to the guy yesterday that actually goes and does that, and he's like, man, I can't. We're done. So in roughly May, June, we will hit our 1 year from the previous service, and then, we'll be done at that point. So in the equipment meeting this morning, Marty and I were discussing it. So basically, I've been working to figure out exactly, why we got denied, because again, most anybody that had Honeywell got the grant. And I found out a couple things just to try different. They don't give you an answer when you just get a Dear John letter and that's it. You can go to the website and it gives you very vague, instructions about, what other people did and did not do. But there is it's not like you get a letter and says this is why, So.
Because in large part, there is actually an art to grant writing.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, it is a very specific skill set. I mean, I would liken it to being like an accountant who, specifically does taxes or whatever. I mean, you have to be a special soul, and I'm not, obviously, for that. But anyway, that's why I was using Brad. However, just throwing that out there too, the guy I'm working with, he's been very responsive. He's been very, very good, I will say, working with. Great guy to work with. This is his first grant. So, that's what you run into there. So we were just talking about, in the future, it may benefit us, to try to find somebody that professionally that does these very specific. I have made some contacts with them. One lady in particular, I know she does several fire departments, but she's booked up, not taking any new clients. So, we can get on the waiting list, but before I try to pursue anything on there, I mean, we would have to obviously have some kind of approval. Having said all that, the number of packs that we were looking at, it was a large amount of money if we replaced all of them. So again, it's one of those conversations, Marty suggested we probably need to have with the city. I tend to agree, figure out. But before I go and go through the whole process of, getting proposals and all that stuff put together, we had to have some money committed before I bring in, people to come in and, give us quotes and all that. So.
Which is what he made and the point you just said. Not everybody can write grants. If you got somebody who specializes in that, it might have, if somebody else that specializes in it might have knew how to do that grant different and could have got that grant.
Having said all that, so again, regardless, assuming we do not get a grant at all, we are going to have to replace some of these packs absolutely no later than, that last test date. And I'll have to look. It was May or June, I feel like, when we last had them tested. There was roughly a 14-week, I think it was, lead time, on receiving them. So, here in the next
February,
3 months or so, we're going to have to pull the trigger. We don't necessarily have to buy all of them, but, I've got together, I have to come together with a plan, but obviously we're going to need the money to do that. But we need to be able to, replace at least a minimum number that we can send, our guys can safely go and do their job, so.
And our normal scheduled joint city-county meeting is in March.
And
So, and I know we got one coming up.
I mean, March would probably be okay.
If it's 14 weeks out and they're ending in June, it wouldn't be weird.
Well,
Yeah, if you're 14 weeks out, we need to be ordering mid-February.
yeah. I'll have to look on the exact date when they're, I mean, the only other thing that could really be the caveats, if they just, let's just said, hey, we're pulling it today, whatever.
Have you already set for a special cause one, what's on the agenda yet?
Well, I've requested that we add the fire department discussion, but I haven't heard any feedback.
So
But
we're talking
if we
about
do-
building a building out there, and now we need to talk about this.
If we do it on the 13th, and like I said, I should be able to get some numbers together, at least that way we can have a better conversation with the city and.
All right. So, gentlemen, here's the question, and I'm good to do this. We'll put together, if y'all are good, and I don't know, Counselor, if this would need to be done by the nod of a head, or we actually need to vote to do this, but I have no issue advertising for a contracted grant writer to serve Simpson County and just see what kind of response we get. I mean,
Probably wouldn't hurt to,
have it by motion.
yeah.
I'll put that in the motion.
All right, so we got a motion by Marty that we advertise for contracted service for a grant writer for Simpson County Fiscal Court.
Second.
Got a second by Myron. Any other question or discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we'll get an advertisement together, we'll get it out there, see what we can come up with. I do think it could be very beneficial to us. And I think it could be better for us from a budgeting standpoint if we're able to get someone that'll do it on a contract basis.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe we could look, I don't know, if Logan County or anyone close to us, if they've got somewhere we could join in with somebody.
Yeah, I'll reach out to.
Yeah,
I'll reach
talk
out
to Dennis.
If
I'll reach out to
join in,
Dennis, yeah.
if they let us join in on it, maybe or something.
All right, we'll get that together.
Only other thing is Merry Christmas, and Happy Holidays. Hope everybody's safe during that time.
Very good. Jeffrey?
Had a Boys and Girls Club meeting, board meeting yesterday, everything went well, and got a good CEO right now running it, finally got somebody good in there, so look for good things going on there, and
So you're saying there hadn't
Merry
been good
Christmas.
people in there?
Huh?
You saying there hadn't been good people in there?
Well, it took several years to get somebody doing something, so
Okay,
Merry Christmas.
all right. Scott?
So everybody else, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and if you hadn't been out to see the lights at the park, you really should do that. It's really nice, so. It's free.
Did you take that new puppy out there to see him?
I did not.
He'd love him.
Oh, I'm sure he would.
Yeah.
Oh,
He'd love to get out and chew some of them.
Nah, he would.
I asked if there was gonna be a lighting, lighting contest this year, and they're not having it this year, so there won't be a map of the different places to do it.
Myron?
I've got a couple of things. I'd like for the court to consider a speed limit change on Purdue Road. Yep. And also, Gallatin Russellville Road from Sulphur Springs to Highway 383. I like for that speed limit to be 45 miles an hour, and Purdue Road, I like for it to be 25 miles an hour.
Where's Purdue Road at?
Purdue,
Off of Witt.
Purdue is a dead-end road right off of Witt.
A lot of houses on there, very, very narrow. Appreciate your consideration.
Well, y'all know how I am. Y'all bring a recommendation, if, I'm behind you. That's what you do on the roads in your district. Because if they call and complain to me, I'm gonna be extra one.
Exactly. So I'll put that into a motion if the court.
Well, do we need
Disagree.
to just to get Sam to write the ordinance?
We'll have to get an ordinance
Yeah,
together,
yeah.
but I guess, here again, Counselor, do we need to, by vote, get you to, just need to get at least two more people to agree that they're good with the ordinance and you'll get it together?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm good.
And
We have
Merry
two good ones.
Christmas.
Got three good, we're good.
Okay. Merry
Okay,
Christmas.
whoa, slow down.
Hold up, he's backing up
Oh,
here.
okay.
Well, I'm just saying, so Purdue Road, we're going to do
25 miles.
25 miles per hour, and you said Russellville Gallatin Road?
45.
Can I do 45 in a few of them curves?
Yeah,
Okay, just checking.
I tried it.
You tried it.
It works.
Do the complaint.
Stayed out of the fields, you know.
Live on that road, it's possible.
I did see the state had put
It can be
45
done.
mile an hour speed limit signs up on Grove City
I
Road.
wouldn't recommend it, but it can be done.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, so Purdue Road, 25 mph, and Russellville Gallatin Road, 45 mph. Got it. I'll see what I can do.
Myron, did you have others?
Just Merry Christmas to all. Happy New Year.
All right, Counselor?
I think you skipped Scott.
No.
No, we're done, Scott.
Okay, never mind.
I'll just go right down the line.
All right. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's. And that's the good news. The bad news is, please pay your taxes by the end of the calendar year, because you go past January, that's when they become late, and there's penalties and fees and expenses, and the longer you wait, the more it costs. I'd rather we make less money and the taxpayers have to pay less. So please, I know everybody's spending their money on a lot of stuff this time of year, but if you can get it done by the 31st, Y'all open the 30th, Sheriff?
What day is that on?
I believe that's a Monday.
Monday.
So, y'all are gonna be closed the 31st is my point, right? So please get there no later than Monday the 30th. Sorry. Ho, ho, ho.
How does that work if a holiday is the 31st, and then obviously the very next day is a holiday on the 1st? Would they get leniency to the 2nd since we were closed for holiday on the 31st and the 1st?
Generally, it's extended. I'll have to check with Dana.
Okay,
But just to be safe, I would suggest Monday the 30th.
yeah, it's a good suggestion, Counselor.
All right.
But the normal holidays is Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day.
Yeah. All right, yeah. Mr. Clerk, you have anything to share? Sheriff, anything?
Yes. Couple of little things, talking about taxes. Right now, we're at 90%, which is good. As Sam said, try to get it in because you don't want to hit those fees and that type of stuff. Also, Thursday, we are doing Shop with a Cop. That's a program we started a few years ago. It's done off donations. Some of my officers, you'll see, are unshaven. Everybody that's unshaven put in some money. We called it No Shave November for a couple of months. That money's used for the Shop with a Cop program. And there's also been a few donations that have come in. So we're not seeking kids. We kind of do something unique with our Shop with a Cop. Since we're doing the school resource officers, we've got an officer in each school. So they've had a chance all year to see the kids there. And usually, sometimes there's multiple grades, so they can see a kid that maybe has really improved from last year to this year in his behavior. Everybody's got challenges in life, and some have more than others, but they can kind of see as that progresses. Financial does come into play, and they're able to get with the school to see all that. So they choose 3 from each school, so there'll be about 15 kids that go Shop with a Cop this year, and that's a good program. Also, I want to take time, Tracy Kent, who has devoted her life to the Simpson County Sheriff's Office and the county as a whole, has served about 22 years, and we are going to honor her tomorrow at the office at 11 o'clock. We're kind of having a meet and greet, basically, for anybody that wants to come tell Tracy that you love her. If you want to bring a card, just want to give her a hug, just want to come talk to her. We're going to have pizza there, so there'll be a little something to eat, nothing extraordinary. I will honor her myself probably at around 11:30, and when I say that, at around 11:30, I'm going to stand up and present her with a few things and have a few words to speak. And also, anybody that has a comment they would like to, well, you can go around the room, anybody that has something they would like to say in front of everybody is welcome to. So, thank you.
Very good, Sheriff. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jailer, you have anything, Sheriff?
Wow.
So I just kind of want to echo what the sheriff is doing with Shop with a Cop. A little bit different, but you know, we have our SCORE program where our inmates work in the public sector and they're getting their lives on track and this, that, and the other. We also do something like that, but we let the inmates do it if they choose. And we raised about $3,500 for 12 kids. So we're doing basically the same thing as Shop with a Cop, except our inmates are the ones that are actually putting up the money from their accounts that they work for to help underprivileged children. And we pick those kids. We actually let the school pick the kids that were underprivileged. And I don't know, I think there was like 12 kids. I can't exactly remember, but I think there was like 4 or 5 families that were affected with this or by this. So just want to let you know, and everybody, y'all have a Merry Christmas and a happy, safe New Year. You're correct, Judge. The lights will be on because we have paid our bills this month, so it will carry us into the new year. If the sheriff gets busy, we will accommodate them. So, Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy
You're like Tom Bodett. We'll leave the lights on.
Lights on.
Thank you.
Bob, anything with OEM? Chief, anything else with fire department? Bobby, anything with road department?
I think Myron should put a big star up on top of this courthouse, go with them lights.
Just information, but a year or two ago, Bob Palmer submitted some flooding mitigation locations through FEMA, and this last year, some of that's come in. We've done some applications. Of course, it's like everything else, the government, there's more red tape and reports than anything else. But two of those projects, they've asked for H&H studies, which is the hydraulic study, just the flooding. I've reached out to the state about helping us with that, haven't got any response. I've also talked to another engineering company. They're supposed to get me some pricing. I don't know what that will really cost. I don't expect it to be a high amount, something reasonable. But I also talked to someone at the state and asked if we go through this process of spending money for the study, what's the likelihood of getting the funding? And the response was there's no guarantee, but it's usually highly unlikely that you get to this stage that you don't get the funding. So,
But I'm assuming it will be highly unlikely we will get the funding if we don't submit the study.
yes, that's one of the things they want. So they wouldn't give you a guarantee, but they said, it's unlikely that you'll get kicked out. So they're probably, the two of them together, are probably $500,000 projects. So, I mean, if I can get notice it's a couple $1,000s, I'm gonna go ahead and, if it's something unusually high, I'll wait. But
Absolutely.
I just thought if you see that coming through, that's what it's for.
All right, very good. All right, gentlemen, I do need real quick to have a motion and a second to go into executive session pursuant to KRS 61.810, paragraph L, discussions or hearings which might lead to the appointment, discipline, or dismissal of an individual employee.
So moved.
Got a motion by Marty. Second by Scott. All in favor, aye. Aye.